Chris Brintle. Chris Brintle.
They could go to that and get my book. I have a book up there I'm selling, by the way, for the cash mop thing. Well, it's more like a pamphlet.
Oh, a pamphlet. Okay,
Yes.
what's the title? I'm afraid to ask, but what's the title of your book?
Well, here's the thing, DC. I cannot say what the title of my pamphlet is on air.
Okay.
But, yeah, very offensive.
Okay.
Yeah.
I figured it was some kind of how to pick up women and be successful type thing, because I know you're quite the ladies' man.
Oh, yeah, of course. My pickup women percentage is about, I don't know, 116. If you compare it to a batting average, about 116, which, I'll take it. Whatever.
Well, if you're a pitcher, that's all right.
Exactly. Yes.
I mean,
if I'm
not so much if you're not so much if you're batting cleanup, but
now that can go way up if you're a catcher.
Well, makes it a little bit easier. Okay, Tom Brady. 4-game suspension. This is pretty much what we were all expecting. Were you expecting more or less?
This is about what I expected.
Yeah. Now, second question is, does it get reduced on appeal?
I think it will. I think it'll get reduced on appeal. He should win the appeal.
2 games?
Yeah, I think he'll get 2 games.
It seems like
the team should appeal, by the way. The team shouldn't be punished this harshly, in my opinion.
The team got punished more harshly than he did, which is...
I don't see how.
Well, the only reason any of this happened is because they've been caught cheating before. The league wants to send a huge message to the team. So Brady gets 4 games. The team gets $1 million fine, record in the history of the league. Plus, they lose their first-round draft pick next year and their fourth-round draft pick in 2017. So that's huge. That's the most harsh punishment ever put down. Now, the only thing I can think of is the team is being punished for the actions of the equipment managers who were the guys directly involved. And now the report didn't say anyone else on the team knew, but I think it's common sense to know that this is a team that has a culture of skirting the rules. I mean, it's pretty obvious that this is something that wasn't going on without other people knowing.
Yeah, and honestly, here I'm hardly ever on a fence on an issue, but this is one of the times where I am on the fence because here's the thing. I look at it in a couple of different ways. The fact is, it's cheating. I think the fumble thing's more important than anything else. I think more people knew about it on the team than we know. I think Tom Brady was directly involved. I think he'll appeal and it will be condensed down a few games. But to me, I don't have a problem necessarily with the 4 games for the simple fact you don't want teams to be cheating like this. Even though it's a small thing, you don't want them to cheat. On the other hand, where I have a little bit of an issue with it is I'm asking myself, should they have been this harsh for the simple fact that when it comes to baseball and pitching, they do little things like this all the time. They have Vaseline in their hair. They've got, pine tar. They take any little advantage, doctoring up the baseballs, and they use it on a daily basis. And sometimes the only person knows about is the pitcher himself. And I mean and they've been caught before. And in baseball, it's just it's not a big deal. So should it be that big a deal in football? So I am on the fence with it. At the same time, I'm not going to come out here and say that the Patriots didn't deserve it, or I'm not going to come out here and say that Tom Brady didn't deserve it, or the NFL went too far. I think they're just trying to send a message. And I think they also knew proof-wise they don't have a lot, and they realized Tom Brady would appeal, and so they made the punishment a little harsher. Because they knew he'd appeal. They knew he'd probably win. Well,
and they've been doing this a lot lately. It seems like they've been writing the appeal into the suspension. Yeah. So say they really want to suspend him 2 games, they'll suspend him 4. It'll get reduced to 2, and they get what they want.
And that's not a bad plan.
It's a good negotiating tactic, and then it makes everybody look good. It makes the league look good because they came down harshly. It makes the
union look good.
Makes the union look good. Makes the player look well. It makes everybody look good. So that it's probably a win-win all around as far as that's concerned. The thing that bothered me the most about watching people's reactions to this is the constant comparisons to unrelated off-field issues, mainly Ray Rice and other domestic violence issues that weren't punished as much as they should have been in the past. And this is okay. I'm going to bear with me here. This is my reasoning. What's the worst possible thing that could happen on the field? I mean, what's the worst possible form of cheating?
Right, betting.
Throwing a game.
Throwing a game,
Yeah.
betting, and throwing a game because of it.
Yeah, throwing a game or betting. So we'll say throwing a game or point shaving or something like that. That is the worst possible form of cheating. Is a man that beats his wife worse than an NFL team that throws games? I say yes. I mean,
Of course.
I say any domestic violence is worse than any cheating.
Of course.
But you can't give someone that shaves points a 2-game suspension.
Yeah,
So I mean, if someone shaves points, you ban them for life.
of course.
Yeah. So it's a completely it's two completely different things. I mean, the reason that the NFL suspends guys for DUIs and for domestic violence is because they make the league look bad. I mean, it's not their job to punish the guy for the actual crime. It makes the league look bad. I mean, that's just the way it is. It's not good for the league when their guys are a bunch of thugs. So they punish them in some way, but they can't punish them. They can't punish them as much as they would for serious cheating offenses.
Right. And where's this now? What are people complaining about? That's my.
Well,
saying,
they compare. They're all. The idea is that a 4-game suspension is worse than the 2-game suspension that Ray Rice got, or previous domestic violence where they weren't suspended at all. Because until Ray Rice, people forget, Ray Rice was at the time when he got that 2-game suspension, that was the worst first offense domestic violence suspension in the history of the league.
yeah.
They just didn't suspend people at all for first offenses. You had to really, really mess up to finally get suspended, which, they were being too light on them. But that's the way it was. And then,
That's true.
of course, once that video came out, they corrected themselves and they gave him an indefinite suspension. That'll get, he'll get reinstated.
That's why I don't think anybody should be comparing it necessarily because they did change it. They made it for the better where they can give them harsher penalties, especially if there's a second offense. So I don't see why people really have a problem with it. And also, I think the difference is when you're talking domestic violence and issues like that or any crimes committed, there's another issue at hand. There's the law. So these people are going to get punished. Not only you could get suspended for 6 games, you can end up going to get in jail time.
Yeah.
That to me is the bigger issue than the NFL's punishment of the players anyway.
Yeah.
We've talked about extensively. Well, why are some of these people not in jail? Why is Adrian Peterson not in jail?
Yeah.
Why is Ray Rice not in jail? And Adrian Peterson, by the way, he didn't even need. He honestly should be in prison.
Well,
He really should be.
And Adrian Peterson is not the least bit remorseful. That's the thing.
No.
I mean,
He just says he's being a parent.
yeah, and I mean, even when you look at a situation like Ray Rice, the guy seems legitimately remorseful for what he did.
And his girlfriend stayed with him
and married him.
him. And so.
So fine, he let him have another chance. I don't think he'll catch on with anybody, but somebody will give him a chance.
And then with Adrian Peterson about an underage kid, that's the victim. I mean, how is he not in jail? That's to me is the big issue. I don't think an NFL team should reinstate him, or I don't think he should have been reinstated of the league.
I mean,
but the bigger issue is the law stuff.
Yeah, well, with Adrian Peterson, unfortunately, he was, they dropped the charges to a misdemeanor and gave him a slap on the wrist. So the league really can't do a whole lot with that.
Exactly.
I mean, they did as much as they could.
Exactly, and that's why. Well, and my whole point of this whole thing is the league's punishment will never be, the bigger punishment when it comes to domestic violence or any type of crime is going to be from the state or whatever. So
and that's the way it should be. The NFL is not a court of law.
exactly. That's my main point.
So anybody that can, the league's job is to harshly punish cheating. I mean that's what that's what they should be focusing on, and that's what they tried to do here. And I think most people understand it. I mean, Patriots fans, of course, they're going to be upset. They lose the best player they've ever had, one of the best players in the past 20 years, and if not the best. And nobody thinks that these underinflated balls made any difference in any games other than the fumbling thing. The fumbling thing is troubling.
That's the most troubling fact about it.
The fact that the Patriots, by a long shot, fumble less than any other team. I mean, they fumble half as much as the next best team, and this is over a period of I think 12 or 13 years, no, 10 years now. Ever since the rule was put into effect that the team gets to prepare their own balls, which, by the way, was lobbied for by Tom Brady.
Oh, of course. And yeah, that's troubling.
So that's evidence that this has been going on since 2006. That's when the new rule went into effect, where and Peyton Manning lobbied for it too. So we don't want to put Brady out there by himself, but Brady and Manning were the two guys that went to the league and said, "Hey, look, we'd like for the team to prepare the balls for us."
Yeah, and then, if you're a Patriots fan, just be quiet. Honestly,
there's
you guys won a Super. If I was a Chiefs fan and this happened to Alex Smith, okay, fine. Give him the 4 games. We just won a Super Bowl. I don't care.
Well,
nice. Oh, no Smith for 4 games. We just won a Super Bowl. What do I care?
Well,
I'm gonna celebrate. I will celebrate like Rollins in the WWE. Yeah, I cheated and won the championship. Whatever. That's my team.
Yeah. Well,
everybody whining about it. I'm sick of it.
I would have more respect for Patriots fans if they admitted that they cheated.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why not just say, we kind of cheated? But it's kind of like that pitcher. The pitcher that has 20 strikeouts in a game, then you find out, he had Vaseline in his hair. Oh, well, they didn't catch him, whatever.
Yeah, I would have more respect for that. But instead, you get, anytime you bring this up, Ray Rice. It's the same thing, and
it's and it's unbelievable because it's so idiotic because they're just separate issues,
Well, and not to mention the Patriots had a serial killer on their team.
Right. That's the equivalent, really. That's really the equivalent. If you want to bring up Ray Rice, if you want to bring up Ray Lewis, if you want to bring up Ben Roethlisberger and his women troubles, if you want to bring up anybody that's broken the law, their troubles with him. It's really the women's Ben Roethlisberger troubles.
Well, okay, you bring up Roethlisberger. People forget that Julian Edelman was arrested for groping women in a bar. Basically, the exact same thing that Roethlisberger was accused of. Maybe not quite as far as
was it
Roethlisberger.
Edelman?
It was Edelman. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They dropped the charges because guess what? It was in Boston.
That's right. Yeah.
Edelman can grope women in a bar in Boston, apparently. But if you or I did it, so don't go to Boston and think you can get away with groping women in bars.
Oh no, I've learned that the hard way. I can't get away with that anywhere.
Yeah. See, and that's the thing. If you want to bring up all of these other off-field incidents, the trump card is Aaron Hernandez. Pretty much the only serial killer in the history of the NFL. And he was doing this while a member of the Patriots. Sure, they cut him as soon as he got arrested, but they had to. He's going to spend the rest of his life in prison.
How do you have time to do that?
I have no idea. And he was good. That's the thing. He threw away a great career to be a serial killer. And I guess you can't really understand the mind of a psychopath, I guess.
I guess so.
Okay, what do we have going on in sports?
Gillette College track, NFL football, NBA basketball.
Okay, we'll be right back. News Talk 1270, KIML.
He ran a 9-second 40 and was still drafted. Don Carpenter on News Talk 1270, KIML.